Hey Barbara, how are you doing? Thanks for all your comments lately and just for the I'm glad you're enjoying the readings lately. How are you doing? I don't know if you're still in here because I clicked off of here. How are you? Excuse me. How are you doing today / tonight? What's going on for you today? I'm just relaxing, but yeah, uh, the stuff that I'm smoking is not. I don't know what the heck is going on, but yeah, definitely. A lot of that shows up in my readings, and that doesn't surprise me because that I feel like is like a big part of my mission and purpose, like specifically is helping women, but just like people in general, actually, that have been in abusive situations or narcissistic situations, because I grew up in a narcissistic household, both parents, and that was my huge karmic lesson that I had to learn and learn how to manage and cope with. And so it's like everything has kind of come full circle, because now I just, in my day job as a mental health therapist and on here, a lot of people that need help in that with that like those specific issues tend to find me, you know. So I'm glad I can be here to be the light, or to shine a light rather, because that stuff's confusing with all that gaslighting and stuff, and that can cause brain damage. It does cause brain damage, actually. Okay, I am back. Um, okay, so the reason I went off is because I semi know the details of the damage that gaslighting does to the brain. I know it impacts the hippocampus and the amygdala in particular, and impacts memory, focus, learning. Probably, I don't know. I wonder about that. But anyway, I'm about to read about it right now. So, areas of the brain impacted. I Googled what areas of the brain are impacted by gaslighting. Gaslighting, a form of emotional and psychological abuse, can lead to chronic stress and have whoa, dem, how do you pronounce that? Demonstrable? Okay. Wow. Let me see here.
Demonstrable.
Yeah, demonstrable. That's what I thought. Oops. It doesn't sound right. I'm like, demonstrable? Oh, shoot. Okay. Oh my God. Okay, so Key brain areas affected and their associated consequences include the amygdala. This region is involved in processing emotions, particularly fear. Gaslighting can lead to an overactive amygdala, resulting in heightened fear, anxiety, and even panic attacks. Holy shit. Oh god. What? All these, like, people on motorcycles riding by randomly, I guess, for some reason. But, okay, that's pretty crazy, because I mean, that makes a lot of sense as to just a lot of things. Prefrontal cortex. This area is crucial for rational decision making, judgment. That's what I thought. So it's like it really impacts. Yep. This area is okay. So the prefrontal cortex, this area is crucial for rational decision making. Jesus. Wow. Okay. Judgment and emotional regulation. Yep. That's what I thought. Well, I knew that about emotional regulation, that, like, when you're gaslit extensively over time, it absolutely leads to a dysregulation in your emotions, because it impacts your brain. So it impacts the areas that would help you regulate your emotions. And chronic stress from gaslighting can lead to decreased functioning in the prefrontal cortex, causing victims to feel confused, indecisive, and experience problems with memory and concentration. Wow. Yep. So, the hippocampus, responsible for memory and learning. Gaslighting can lead to a shrinking of the hippocampus, potentially causing memory problems and difficulty learning new information. That is so fucked. Yeah, that's why my memory is, like, non-existent. Not literally, but, like, I have such a hard time remembering shit. I've been gaslit my whole life. So, wow. And difficulty learning new information, that would make sense. Hypothalamic, hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis. This is the body's primary stress response system. Gaslighting can activate this system, leading to elevated cortisol levels, which is the stress hormone, and increasing the risk of anxiety disorders, PTSD, and other mental health conditions. My God. Depends on who you ask, Barbara, because, like, I don't involve myself in politics and at all. I don't I don't watch the news at all. I don't keep up with, you know, what's going on with that. So maybe, but what the? I don't like that. These cops out here, that's weird. But, potentially, but I'm very confused at this point myself. Like, I'm very confused at what the fuck to believe. So that's why I just don't watch the news. I don't uh, um so that I can protect my brain and my mind, because it's already been damaged a lot by gaslighting. So, I mean, potentially, but I would recommend you protect yourself from, I mean, I don't know. I get people say it's important to keep up with, what's going on in the world, but ultimately, I don't know. I just, I don't know. I just don't like the 3D world, I think. I don't like So it's like hard for me to want to be a part of any of it too much, which is why I like to just like do tarot and help people heal and just like, you know. Anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to go off on a tangent there. What does it do for the gaslighter? Nothing. It does absolutely nothing. It just leads them into a deeper hole of denial and delusion, really. Because they actually believe they're gaslighting. So for them, it's like they're telling the truth. They think they're telling the truth. Maybe I think so. Yeah, I mean, from the narcissistic people I have been around, they seriously, wholeheartedly, absolutely 100% think that they are incredible people. They do. And so, I mean, they really also don't see that they're gaslighting. There's been many people that have called these people out, and, you know, so I don't think the gaslighter gets affected, and that's what's so messed up about it, is because a lot of times the gaslighter might not even be aware that they're gaslighting because they've been lying to themselves for so long. And that's how they preserve their sense of self, I guess, or their ego, rather, because they don't really have a sense of self. What the fuck? People just beeping, randomly. But insula, this area, okay, so the next area it impacts is insula. This area is associated with emotions, self-awareness, and interoception, sense of bodily states. Huh. That's interesting. Huh. Manipulation and emotional abuse, including gaslighting, can impact the insula, potentially affecting emotional processing and regulation. That is true. That's why a lot of times over time, you will see victims, they do lash out over time. And I mean, a big part of it is that it's not even like something they can control, because like what's happened to them has caused brain damage, and they're literally just acting however their brain is telling them to, like a victim. They're acting how their brain is telling them to act because their brain has been damaged. So it's like, I mean, yeah. So yeah, it can lead to that over time, for sure. Makes sense. Yeah. Oh wait, wow, madness compensate for something. I don't think I've fully healed my brain. I don't think so. I have healed. I've done a lot of healing emotionally speaking. But the true healing comes when I mean, really, ultimately, you have to separate yourself from people that gaslight to that degree. You just have to. I mean, it's like, you don't have to, but you can keep sitting there and, like, I mean, that's what continues to lead to the brain damage. But, our brain is we're very, what's the word for it? Resilient. And that's the whole plasticity thing, I think, in the brain, where pretty sure, actually, you know what, I'm gonna ask Google that, like, I'm gonna ask Google if, like, over time, if you're away from the gaslighting, if the brain, like, does any, like, if it heals, basically, if there's an ability for that or a possibility for that. So in essence, gaslighting disrupts the brain's ability to accurately perceive reality, regulate emotions, and form healthy relationships, leading to a range of negative psychological and even physical consequences. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, because I mean, if you struggle with emotion, all of these areas of the brain being impacted, like the lack of emotion regulation, I'm like, the increased stress, and then that can lead you to, first off, that just can lead to illness over time. It can lead to physical illness, because your body can't sustain maintaining itself in a sense of fight or flight and constantly pumping cortisol. I mean, it's damaging, to your body over time. And I have clients that, I have one client who, before I started talking to her, I had literally never heard of some of these physical illnesses that she has, but she's been with a narcissistic. Sorry about that. She developed all of these physical these health issues that now she's dealing with because she's been with a narcissistic person for 20 years. And so that's the physical consequences, is that, yeah, it can lead to serious health issues. It can lead to immune disorders because it, weakens the immune system. Because again, when your body's constantly pumping out that stress and trying to fight shit off, it there's only so much your body can take, Yes, awareness is key, and I don't know. I guess. Oh, that's what I was going to ask. I'm going to ask Google if, if being away from the abusive person helps heal the brain. So, yeah, it says that is possible. Yes, definitely. I do think that's some of it, because when I was just looking at it, looking it up, that's what it was saying, was that it can be reversed. Yeah, it definitely can be reversed. And it said that, like therapy, I think it said like seeking support and help, being around people that are consistent and predictable and safe, people who validate your reality and reassure you, not people who deny your reality or even just like don't do anything at all. Being around people that make things very clear, being around safe people. Yes, there is hope. The brain is a powerful machine, and it heals itself. So that's good news for sure. How long were you married, Barbara? Or were you married to... I remember part of your comment about... Well, I don't know if you gave details, but you said this person was 65 and they're a Virgo. And I don't know if... I just can't remember the rest of the comment. I apologize. Yeah. I mean, I'm glad that you have a circle of friends, though. I mean, because it can be hard to trust people after dealing with narcissistic abuse. I mean, for me, and it's common to isolate yourself after being around narcissistic people. So me, I've isolated myself, but that's... Well, I wouldn't like to... sorry. I don't think it's right to say that that's unhealthy, because I enjoy my own company, and also I mean, I do think it's trauma. But anyway, so I guess I was going to say, but I think it's healthier to have more support around you, healthy people that, versus being to yourself, actually, because with the brain damage that gaslighting does, I can actually attest to the fact that like there was a period of time in my mid 20s when, which was like 5 years ago, but I'm not that old, guys, I swear. Anyway, um, but there was a time where I lived by myself, and it was like the first time that I lived by myself after being around like a bunch of narcissistic family members. And I did not have a therapist. I had a mentor, and I was doing a lot of like self-healing stuff, like, doing a ton of research on narcissism, but also like looking up self-help and coping skills, coping mechanisms. Like, what do I do? How do I heal this? Oh, and I was in therapy. What am I talking about? I was in therapy. And so I was doing like inner child work and all that kind of stuff. But I was isolated a lot. And so like there would be times where like I'd be at my apartment and I would be kind of like, I don't want to say like losing it, but like, yeah, like the aftermath of gaslighting is, I don't want to say like dangerous, but I'm not sure I would recommend that to just like your everyday average person. I mean, or like any person really, because I think it's important to have support. And yeah, like I think it was very confusing for me because I didn't have anybody to validate my reality. So that's the part that can be really dangerous, is that if you don't have anybody to validate your reality, you kind of, I don't want to say like I do feel like I kind of just felt like I was going nuts, if you don't have people after gaslighting validate your reality or reassure you, um, that can fuck with your head further. Or if you don't have anybody there too, and you're just like with yourself in your own brain by yourself. But yeah, it was interesting. I I was married once, but left 15 years ago. This is a new relationship, and the person now is a situationship. Oh, okay, I see. Okay, true. That's what a good relationship can do. Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's just how a healthy person with pro-social behaviors and empathy acts. Like that's what I've realized over time with narcissistic people is like they make the most basic things that like healthier people just do naturally seem as if they are like the most fucking complicated thing in the entire world. And it's like that's not normal, because I was raised by two narcissists, and somehow I have figured out how to empathize. Um, and oh my gosh, I'm so hungry. But like, yeah. So I guess it's like, I don't know, kind of weird. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Especially in America, I feel like this country was built on narcissistic principles and ideologies, and it's also been embedded within the family unit, and especially because society for a very long time harped on and emphasized the importance of image. And I always say this, like, kids should be seen and not heard or whatever. And it's like that created a bunch of narcissistic people, because when you don't acknowledge what's going on in a person's inner world, you either are severely neglecting them, or like, I mean, depending on the situation, if a person's very spoiled and you're neglecting their inner world, that's also dangerous. So I think the combination of all of those things, like, yeah, like you said, it's embedded in the culture. Yes, embedded hierarchy, be on top or in the gutter. Yeah, Yeah, definitely. And like, I don't know, it's just, and then like our world in general is kind of like that because it emphasizes male dominance, and not that that really necessarily has anything to do with that, I guess, even though it's like narcissistic in a sense, but anywho, um, yeah. I feel like I'm smoking a cigarette. It's just pitiful. I'm kind of mad. It's like, oh my god. So annoying that this stuff, just wasting money. Wasting moolah on it. But, yep, so I don't even know. One in every 10 person is either a narcissist, sociopath, or psychopath. It's good info to have because knowing that shouldn't lead you to live in fear, but just more so understand the importance of caution and discernment, because that means that pretty much in every room, like every store you go into, every workplace, like there is a narcissist, sociopath, or psychopath there. I mean, that's inevitable with the narcissist thing because there's a lot of them out there. JoJo Siwa is one of them. I don't know why she came to mind. I just feel like, I don't know. I don't want to wish bad on anybody, but I just, she's very egotistical, and she 1 second thinks she's gay and the next second thinks she's not, which is weird. And I'm not trying to be, I don't say that in a judgmental way. I say that because I mean, by 22, typically people are pretty, I don't want to say solidified in their sexual orientation, but they know who and what they like. You know what I mean? So hard for me to believe that at 22 somehow you, I don't know, thought you liked girls and now you're with a guy. And to me, that sounds like an issue with like identity, like you're confused. That's not like, because our culture has embraced all of these things like fluidity and shit like that, but like there is such a thing as being so inconsistent that you either have some type of issue with identity or a personality disorder, because you can't have that many fractures in your personality and just claim that I'm just fluid. Like, no, you just don't know yourself and you're lost and there's a fucking difference, like, come on now. I know people, that is a thing, but, like Demi Lovato, who, and some of it I think is just ignorance and misunderstanding about things, maybe, but like Demi Lovato one time said that like, oh, today I'm in my masculine energy, so I'm a man. It's like, no, you're not a man. Did you grow a penis? Like, you're not a man. You can be in your masculine energy and not have to be, identify as a certain, it's just, anywho, I won't get into it, but I don't know why she popped in my head and how I even got onto this. Oh, because she's narcissistic. Uh, JoJo Siwa. Because just the way she operates and goes about her relationships is very, very cold. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna cheat on you on national television and then just be like, fuck you, sorry. Bye. It's like, that's beyond shitty. So, and have no care in the world about it either. She has a very like lax attitude of like, well, yeah, things worked out and I don't really give a shit and I just, yeah, she hates me, but no big deal. Like that's literally how she sounds in her interviews. Except for not that straightforward. She tries to like go around things and make everything seem like everything's just chill. Everything's just chill. And I think that's a front and a cover for the fact that this bitch, sorry, excuse my language, does not know herself. This little girl does not know herself. She's lost. So she's trying on all these different, and again, that's a sign of a personality disorder. You're trying on all these different identities to the point where you're like, you don't know who you are. Like if one day you wake up and you're emo and the next day you decide to be preppy and you like, I mean, not saying you can't do that, but if you're like, that's a sign of borderline personality disorder, is like people that are like that. Like they tend to switch like hobbies and interests and identities like repetitively over and over again. That's a sign of it. So, LOL. And I'm not laughing at the disorder. I'm just like laughing at the fact that like the ignorance of and the lack of awareness of this person. That JoJo Siwa chick. Yeah, I mean, I don't care who people like or whatever, but like she's a con artist, I feel like, you know what I mean? It's like you're a liar, you're a narcissist. Like you're not, oh, I'm just this innocent person that like, oh, I'm fluid. No, you are a narcissist and you're using all these things to cover for the fact that you're an asshole who doesn't know who you are, and you're allowing, like, you're hurting other people in the process of like being lost and confused. It's weird. There's something off about that girl. Yeah, 1 in 10. I like the road sounds. I grew up in Midwest. A lot of hearing trains. I had a cigarette way too expensive. Yeah, the Midwest is the best. I have to look up this person you're talking about. Definitely look up JoJo Siwa. Oh my god. You are going to just probably have a range of emotions. You'll probably crack up because she doesn't know how to dance and she posts a bunch of really embarrassing videos of her just like flailing her arms around and like pretending she's that's a lot of what Gen Z does. They just like flail their arms around and do a bunch of shit and then call it dancing. And it's like, yeah, okay, I guess like really to be special in today's day and age, you literally don't have to do shit and you just have to call it shit. You don't have to do shit. You just have to pretend that it is something. My God. This is what we've come to. And she is just a lost gal. She's lost. She was like practically acting as if she was a man for a second. She was like talking about like nuts and like she was trying to act like she was like a dude. And it was like, and now all of a sudden she's straight. Okay. That sounds like someone who's confused to me. If she was a teenager, no. At 22? Question mark. Only about the sexual orientation thing. Because you are still finding yourself in your 20s, but like I said, and you may be experimenting in those ways, but for the most part, you know who the fuck you're attracted to. Unless you, I mean, I don't buy that. I don't buy that. I don't buy it. I think she does stuff for attention purposes like what narcissists do. Well, I grew up in the women's movement and the anti-war movement, and CIA gave Larry acid for his bus and created. Oh, wow. Yeah, I almost wonder if it could be something like that too. It's like, oh, like if I like, I don't know, go. It's all to me. It's almost like a hurt thing. Like and I'm not saying everybody does this, but I think there's some people who choose to do that. Choose, I think females are more, they tend to do this more so, where it's like, I think they get scorned or hurt by men, I think. And I think sometimes they're like, well, you know, I'm not saying that's what she was doing, but I think it's just more so maybe she's an attention whore and she just takes attention from whoever will give it. Like, um, yeah, maybe she's a, what do you call those things? Sorry, that's ignorant of me. Be nice. Okay. Um, it's called being, I think it's not poly, is it? No, it's, what's that? Pansexual, when you, right? When you'll date anything, even a fish. No, I'm just kidding. That's probably illegal. Um, but it is 2025, so maybe they're making exceptions. No, I'm just kidding. Oh, yeah. That doesn't surprise me, Barbara. Oh my God, this world is so fucked up. I mean, literally, you've got females out here wearing bras and panties on the sidewalk, being convinced that this is appropriate in 2025. Yes, walk around in your lingerie, ladies. Do it. Like, how misogynistic is that? Our culture has, that's why they've accepted it, because it's all based around satisfying weird, creepy men, but now it's backfiring because now you got these crazy bitches out here half naked, these weirdos, and I've seen shorts on YouTube. I saw this one where I went in on this chick because I'm like, this is like, you are the problem. Like, she was very dressed very skimpy and she was about to go out. And it's like, and she's like, yeah, I'm just gonna like pretend that my best friend who's gay is my boyfriend so I can avoid men bothering me. And I like commented on it. I was like, well, how about you try this, putting some clothes on, and then maybe they wouldn't bother you and you wouldn't have to like do all that stupid shit that makes you feel like you're more important than you are because actually you secretly like the attention, but you're going to do all this weird shit and make a stupid short about it, bitch. And then I'm going to comment on it and get ousted off of your shit because, well, being a whore is something that is glorified in our society and accepted. And slutty, trashy women keep getting away with it and getting attention for it. And so they think they're cool, or they think that, I mean, I was thinking about that earlier today. Like, I can't imagine if that was my life. Like, I'm just like a whore on the internet, on OnlyFans, making millions. I don't work at all. I'm just, like, I don't know how I could sit with myself, know, like, all day, day in and day out, knowing, like, yeah, I have all my freedom because I'm a whore on the internet. Woo! Like, and all of my body parts are all out there, and somebody right now at this moment is, you know what, to my pics. You know what I mean? Like, do these bitches not think about that? Sorry, I'm getting a little ignorant here, a little more casual here, but I mean, this is truly how I feel about this. This drives me crazy. Um, because that's not work and it's not a job. It's you using your mediocre assets. That's the thing. It's usually like really mediocre depending on the person. I've seen if it's like a real model, like when I've seen like real models, like, and I'm not talking the ones that walk on the fashion runway that need to eat like 12 cheeseburgers. I'm talking about like real models where it's like, oh, she's gorgeous and like she's just modeling versus like, there's a difference between that and like these slutty chicks that do all that stuff I'm talking about and then pretend like they're modeling or whatever. Um, yeah. Oh my God, that's such a good way to describe it. I love the way you described all of that. I know I see them. The bars. It is kind of juvenile. I mean, for me, it's just like, I would feel uncomfortable doing that because absolutely inevitably I would walk by, like, I don't get why women don't think about this. Like, there are other women out there with boyfriends who will be out in public, and you will exist out there, and you are creating energy and temptation and feelings that should not be created because you're a dumb bitch who just won't put some real clothes on, you know? So, I get tired of the shit. I get tired of it. I don't respect it. It's not respectable. I don't care how much you're making, because my whole thing is that's the easy way out. Because realistically, I mean, I'm very attractive. I could easily do that and make millions. I absolutely could do that and easily, within a year, probably less, make bank. But I don't do that because I respect myself and my body, and I understand energy, and I work for the divine. I don't work for the devil. That's working for the devil. Because you're feeding the flames of that low vibrational energy, and you're creating unhealthy things like temptation for men who are in relationships that should not be put in those positions. But because, again, you're a random person in public who didn't think through your actions when you put less than a whole outfit on today, I mean, it's like, I think it's disrespectful to the self, but I think it's also disrespectful to other women. And I think women are just so ignorant and selfish and self-absorbed that they don't consider those things. They don't care about that. They're just selfish, nasty, mean. Sorry, I don't know. There's a lot of people out there like that. Not saying all. Yeah, could be, but I think it's a lot of just like random women, I think they have self-esteem issues, and I think that that's how they seek some type of attention or approval to, I don't know. It's got to be a values thing too. Like, I value modesty, period. Not everybody deserves to see what the fuck I have to offer. I know my value and worth, so therefore I protect it. That's what you do when you know your value and worth. And these bitches don't know their value and worth, which is why they're being sloppy all over the internet. I'm so sick of it, Barbara. I really am. Yeah, for me, it's not just about, it's about the whole thing. It's like, because that's how I conduct myself around other women. If they're with their husband or their boyfriend, I always make sure that I am respectful and considerate of the woman and both parties involved. But like, so it's like, that's why I feel that way, because that's how I treat other people, and I expect that same thing in return. And it's just very, like, lazy and sloppy that people don't think that through, and it's just been normalized. So it's like, yeah, I can just like wear spandex and a bra on the sidewalk, and like, it's infuriating. It is disrespectful to your body, but it's also disrespectful to us women out here who do respect our bodies, that do understand these concepts, and do make the world a safer place for themselves and other people and other people's relationships, versus people like that are loose. I mean, even that is loose to me. That's loose. If you're going out in public wearing, volleyball spandex and a sports bra, I'm sorry, that's loose. Where are your parents, and who taught you outside of your culture? Clearly somebody in your family didn't teach you, like, that that's not the way to go. It's not the way to be. Yeah, for sure. Yep. Yes. Yep, definitely. Yeah, it's like women like that make it 10 times, they just make it harder for good women that are living righteously. It just makes it more challenging. Oh, that's what it's called? How Buddhism is right? That sounds cool. Thanks for I'm glad you came in here, Barbara. You sparked a lot of convo and thoughts and about all these different things. It said, oh my God, my phone is like way overheating. It's about to probably shut out of this. Hang on. It said everything is driven by natural selection, even the coffee you buy. Can you elaborate on that? Because I guess I don't know what you mean. Tell me more deeds. Yeah, see, this is where I think the gaslighting comes in. I need people to spell things out to me. It's really, I feel like that has to do with the gaslighting because it's like I have a hard time like perceiving what people are trying, like hinting or getting at, or like it's hard for me to fill in the blanks. Hang on, just one sec. Yeah, it kind of irritates me that people want to click off my shit when I start talking about these Jezebel females, and I guarantee you it was men that clicked off because it's mostly males that watch my motherfucking channel to begin with. Well, if you don't want to hear a self-respecting, respectable woman preach about how a fucking female should be appropriately presenting themselves, then get the fuck off my shit for good. Because I'm gonna keep talking about that until these bimbos get the motherfucking hint and learn. And there's nothing wrong with pointing it out, and there's nothing wrong with having a problem with it. It's called having standards and values, principles, morals. LOL. Yeah, it's peaceful. It is very peaceful. But yeah, that shit annoys me because it's like probably the same men who clicked off or people who clicked off are people that are not awakened to that. And so it probably struck a chord and triggered them and made them feel like, she's just a hater. She's just talking shit. Honey, you don't have to hate when you're beautiful, okay? There's no hate. It's disgust. It's can't think of another word. But yeah. And it is because, again, all of us females could do that if we wanted to, but some of us just have a brain and actually want to utilize like every aspect of our being, because we recognize we have more to offer. And that's why it's disrespectful, because it's like that takes away or distracts away from the women that have busted their ass and put in the work and are motherfucking gorgeous also, but don't have to fucking take their clothes off in order to convey that. What a joke. What a joke. I don't know if I've heard of that. Pirate radio. What's that about? Pirate radio. Where'd you get or watch the movie, I guess? Where can I find the movie? Maybe like, oh, that's okay. It's understandable. Yeah, I hate that. It happens to me too with my phone. It's like, you just have to, I don't know, like, I find myself, anyway, I don't even want to talk about it. It's so, like, frustrating to think about. That weed was not good, you guys. It just was not good. So, there's that. Yeah, it's really left me in a bit of a bind here. Oh, God. This is just, ugh. Yeah, that does not. But, yeah, wow. Disappointing. Wait. Oh, gosh. That's what I was gonna look for real quick. I'll smell this and see what this... Ew! This doesn't even smell like weed. Oh my God. This is terrible. What is that? Oh my gosh. It's like, what is this? Like, they're selling this at government regulated shops, but this is not even, you know, real stuff here. This is so strange. Oh my gosh, this is so weird. None of it smells. Like, I'm so lost. It's really pretty, it's pretty pitiful. Oh, what am I thinking? Thank God I looked in here. I'm like, there's gotta be something better. I have a little bit of a stash over here, folks. Not a big one, just a small one. Oh my gosh. Oh wow, okay. What? Oh my God. Okay, well I think this is better than the other ones though, you guys. So, or Barbara, I don't know why I keep saying you guys, because I'm only talking to you, but okay, wait. But I do that in my readings a lot, or I feel like I just do that a lot in general. Say you guys when there is no you guys. Oh my gosh, I can't even believe I left that knife like that. That is so dumb. I like left, you know, like I have a pocket knife. It's not a pocket knife. I have a knife for safety. And, well, I left it out. I wish I could find that. I used to have this like rusty, like, I don't even know what the hell it was. It was some like tool from my dad's toolbox or something like that. And it was like rusty. It was like a chisel. And like that, I mean, anyway, I don't know where it went. I used to carry it in my purse. I used to carry all types of shit in my purse. Butter knives, like a combination of things. Pepper spray, butter knives, whatever I just said a second ago, that chisel thing. I'm only just saying this because it's hilarious. Like, it's kind of over the top, but not really, because there's a lot of really fucking weird, creepy people, so. And, you know, other weapons as well, people, but I'm not a fan of weapons, okay? No. I do not like that kind of stuff. Actually, knives scare the shit out of me. I do not like knives. They creep me out. They freak me out. Like, like whenever there's a kitchen knife, like one of those big kitchen knives sitting on the counter when my boyfriend is cooking, I always tell him that, can you move that out of the way, or can you, I've watched too many true crime things and weird, just weird stuff, like psycho humans just like going crazy all of a sudden in the kitchen. It's a regular night, and then the person just stabs the person. I have intrusive thoughts, actually, is what it is. So, yeah. Not too funsies. But yeah, no. So, I'm not a fan of stuff like that. I'm also starving, you guys. I am really, really hungry. I have not eaten all day, and I ate last night, but I'm just hungry. And I'm not really gonna, get anything too cray to eat. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like they're just like selling fake stuff in the shops. Like they're just pretending that it's weed, and then like it's not. It's like, is somebody gonna do something about this? Or, because this is just pitiful. Mm-hmm. Yep. Weed shops. Yeah. Talking about weed shops where it's like they keep, like they're selling stuff that, I mean, this stuff doesn't, I mean, I'm a big weed smoker, and so I know what good weed feels like. I know what it smells like. I know what it looks like. And I don't know what the hell this is. I don't know, like, are they not growing it properly or all the way? It's like weird. It shreds. It just kind of like shreds into pieces. Like, that seems really shady. It's like, I wish we could go back to the days when The days of street weed before fentanyl, because my God. But now, I mean, to be honest with you, I don't think I would ever trust a street dealer again, because fentanyl. And you can literally have the tiniest amount and be dead. And that is not worth it to me. I'd rather smoke shitty weed than risk my life for a good high. What is this stuff that is... Oh my gosh, you guys. There's two... Okay, so I'm putting two different strains in here. I'll just tell you a little bit about this. I'm putting... What the fuck is this? Okay, it's Grown Rogue Space Jam. Okay, it's Space Jam is the strain. And then the other one, I'm going to go look and see what that is. That one might be Blue Runts. Now, if you're smart, you will get any strain that has sour diesel in it if you want to get blown. And, yeah. Now, let's see. Yeah, I think this is, yeah, that's Blue Runts. Pays to hang on to hold on to shit, you know. I always have something to smoke, even if it's shitty. I save it for times like these when I'm broke, but just feel like smoking, really. Just, you know, it can be relaxing to just sit in the dark and, it's better when it actually has an effect, but, you know. Wait. Wow. What? What? No way. So you know people. Interesting. I might have to email you, Barbara. Do you work for agency or do private therapy? I work for a private clinic. Or yeah, like a private clinic. My boss is awesome. He's a hippie. And everybody I work with is very laid back, very considerate and respectful of one another, and empathetic because, well, thank God, because they're all therapists. I would hope they are, you know. So it's really nice because it's like, wow, one of the first workplaces I've worked in where there's like mutual respect and like people that aren't like really emotionally unintelligent. Like these are very highly educated individuals who don't, it's just not like that. Thank God. Very grateful for that. I manifested this workplace or this job. Oh, really? Oh my gosh, I love Massachusetts. Okay, I have family in Massachusetts, Barbara. I don't want you to feel obligated to tell me, but whereabouts are you near, kind of near the ocean-ish? Where's Braintree in relation to you? Because I have relatives that live kind of near there. That's not where it is, but it's like around there. I can't remember the exact. Also, Massachusetts is freaking gorgeous, and if I could afford to live there, I would totally live there. That is like one of my favorite states. I would recommend anybody go there. It's beautiful on the ocean. Just, you know, when I was growing up, my uncle and my aunt lived there, and that's my dad's brother, and we would go every summer and visit them and, you know, swim in the ocean. And like they lived in a really nice neighborhood. And like Steve Carell lived, you know, that comedian lived around the corner. So like we were always like trying to spot him. And you know, just good memories. And then my cousin actually like saw him when he was outside, and he just, you know, just neighborly waved, and it was like, oh my God. That's so funny. And then she came back and she told all of this, and told all of us, and she's like, oh my God, you guys. Oh my God. She's also a redhead. Shout out to her. She had a baby sometime recently, or like last year or something like that. But where the hell did the lighter go, people? I can't keep living like this. Okay? I cannot. You guys, I'm dramatic and I just joke around a lot when I'm trying to... What is that? Oh, come on. Oh, is that near you at all? Or close to you at all? Or where... Are you close to the ocean? Or... I'm glad you have a good workplace. Me too. Thank you, Barbara. I'm really relieved myself. It's been legal here for a long time. Yeah, when I went to go visit, well, for my uncle's funeral, I went to Massachusetts a couple years ago, and me and my cousin went to the dispensaries, and my best job was a collective restaurant. Cool. No, I love the ocean, but I'm in Western Mass. Whoa, Steve Carell. Braintree's near Boston. I love the sounds. No, I'm on the Connecticut. Oh, that's cool though. What's that like? I bet it's beautiful over there. I've never been to Connecticut. Have you been to Connecticut? Connecticut would be a nice place. Connecticut almost just seems like everybody's rich there, or is that just like a stereotype? Not a stereotype. Like, is that just I don't know. It just seems like Connecticut is very fancy. I wonder how expensive it is. Huh. Is Connecticut expensive? I think a lot of like the New England area, the East Coast is pretty expensive, it seems like. Massachusetts, New York, Maine, probably. I don't know. Maine would be really beautiful. Oh, wait, so Connecticut is like really a really rich, or like there's a lot of rich people there? Is that what you're saying? Or you're saying it's beautiful? That's probably what you're saying. That it's beautiful. But yeah. So that's a good thing then. Martha Stewart. Yes, Connecticut is more expensive bedroom town for New Yorkers. Martha Stewart. Wait, Martha Stewart? Is she from Connecticut? I don't know. Sometimes I forget what I just said, Barbara, so excuse me if I'm blanking, because I kind of am a little bit. Oh, wow. Oh, I've heard of Paul Newman. Who is that, though? Heard of that guy. You know, I like to go on these lives too because, oh, Paul Newman, that's right. Okay. I like to do these lives because I like to create a space for people to be able to talk and just interact, create community, support, because therapy is expensive. So, However, the way I talk on here is not. I'm much more professional with my clients, you guys. I hope you know. Oh my God, I would crack up, but also be like, oh shit, if my clients, because you want, because it might be off-putting to certain people depending on, so that's why as a therapist, you stay objective and kind of like anonymous and like not entirely anonymous, I will say that, because I think it's important to share your life experiences so that people can feel like less alone. Like my client today asked me like, do you have any like severe he's a teenager, severe or not severe, he said, do you have any like mental health issues? And I was like, I don't know if I should answer that. But then I'm like, well, no, I should answer that because like that's part of like kind of like normalizing, not normalizing it in a sense, but like just, yeah, normalizing it in a sense. Like it's okay, even like your therapist. So I told him, I said, anxiety, depression, complex post-traumatic stress. And so my point in saying that is to say, I think it's important to be real, but then it's like, you don't go into details or anything. It's not like you say, oh yeah, my parents are narcissists. No, that would be a problem. But it's like, just knowing how to share just enough without sharing too much, basically. Sharing what needs to be shared or what the person is asking for that would be helpful. And for him, he wanted to know because I have a feeling he kind of had a feeling because he feels like I understand him very well, and I understand him very well because I've been there. So, and he obviously picked up on that in some sense or some way, shape, or form. So that's a way to keep trust too, or build trust is, just being authentic and transparent. Like, yeah, everybody's got their own struggles, but that's actually what will become strengths at some point if you utilize them in that way. So, like, yeah, definitely. Like, there's, like I said, I don't go into like details unless people like unless it's in a context where it's like they want to know what my experience with it is, or they want to know like, can they trust my perception on, like, sometimes I do it to build rapport so that they know that like, and like I said, I won't go into detail, but I'll just say like I've been there. I've been around a lot of people who are narcissistically abusive, and so I know how the dynamic is and how they are. You don't go into detail, but you just let them know enough so that they know that, okay, this person knows what they're talking about, but also, hey, they can relate. So, it creates a sense of safety and trust and like feeling less alone in the world, I'm sure. Yeah. Yeah, you've just got to kind of, it's an art, therapy. It's kind of an art, like knowing how to navigate. You have to have good discernment. You have to have healthy boundaries. You really cannot, you can't do it if you haven't done the healing because, well, actually you can, which is why a lot of people I've talked to have said they've had really weird or bad experiences with therapists because they're like getting therapists that haven't healed their own issues, and that definitely shows, obviously. So it's like you definitely have to, I think, heal those things in order to even be able to testify to the fact that they work. You know what I mean? Because like I don't, and that's what I tell people. Like I'm telling you this because like it works, and like I know it's annoying because I've literally been there myself, but trust me, it works, and just keep sticking with it because you will feel better eventually. But a pain in the ass, and you know, it is work, but you will feel better in the end and you'll have peace, like me. Yeah. Wow, it's 12:45, you guys. Can't believe this, peeps. Peeps. Woo! This is just so, like, I don't even know what to say about this. This is just like, oh my gosh. I am like, I'm starving over here, people. Ozzy Osbourne has been stuck in my head since I found out that he died. It's like, come on. And the only reason I know any of his lyrics is because my brothers listened to him growing up. So it's like somehow that started popping up in my head, and it's like, okay. Yeah, I definitely need food, but and I'm glad that that it was helpful. I needed some interaction myself with people who've been through similar things, so it's good to connect and have community and people that have been, you know, been through similar things and are healing. I mean, that's the point of this channel, is to create a support network, or a you know, supportive place for people to come, you know. I wish it wouldn't say that when it retracts a message. I wish it would just like disappear, because it's like, it's almost like, it's awkward. It's like, okay, can you just like delete it completely instead of like leaving a receipt that I deleted the message? That's always how I feel about it. Like, oh, yeah, you're gonna announce to the whole chat, for the whole rest of the chat, that I deleted that. Okay. It's like public scrutiny. Just kidding. Wait, is that the right word for it? Public humiliation. No, that's too strong of a word. That's too strong a word. That's how I feel when it happens for me. If I'm in a chat and I'm like, oh no, I'm gonna retract that. It's like, oh, I feel like I feel like it's just so obvious, because it's like, yeah, message retracted. Hey guys, yeah, that's kind of how I feel. Also, I needed this because I'm trying to catch up on my YouTube hours. I've been slacking with going live, so I'm gonna be going consistently, more consistently. Oh, really? Yeah, it haunts me. That retraction button haunts me. That's why I had to say something about it, because I'm like, I can't take the awkward silence of the cricketness of, like, you know, it's like crickets. It's like just crickets chirping. It's like, who decided that that was a good idea? It's so funny. Um, yeah. I need to make more money. I get a raise. coming up in the next couple months, and that will probably help me greatly. But I also got to move to some place that's like less expensive. Like I don't need a super expensive place to stay because I'm literally never inside. So like I should get something that's like cheap as fuck, because it's just a waste of money. Well, Pearl, my cat, she's in there, but it's like, okay, I'm literally paying for super expensive apartment for my cat to live in essentially, which is ridiculous. I mean, I live in it when I sleep in there. If I sleep in there. Oh, okay. Well, I'm glad you like the vibe and glad you're here. It is good vibes on this chan. It is. And what the universe wants to prevail will prevail. And when you've got a mission to carry out and a lot of people will try to get in the way of chosen ones and their mission, and it's really doesn't turn out so well. So, I mean, but how would I mean, I guess I could do it through YouTube or whatever, but would I need anything else? I probably have to get my full licensure for one, because I don't have my full licensure quite yet. What do you mean by that, Barbara? I'm thinking of a cat. A friend is trying to find a home. Well, I work virtually, so it's like I could just do virtual appointments, but the problem would be like out of state people who are out of state because you know I'm not licensed. They need to change that. I think they need to change that because especially with like virtual stuff, I have clients that like, well, okay, I'm not gonna put that out there. But yeah, it just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. Because it's like, if you're working virtually, the point is you're working virtually so that you can make it more convenient. So I just think they need to change it so it's like, if you're licensed in the United States, you're licensed in the United States. Because it's just like, you have to get licensed in every state that you... Yeah, out of my home. I work from home or my car. Sometimes my car just for privacy. I mean, I live in a really nice apartment. It's not like it's, there's a bunch of noise or anything like that, but it's like, I just like guaranteed privacy. Guaranteed quiet. And also, Pearl tries to like snuggle with me or, get my attention. And then if I don't give it to her, she'll start biting my arm. And it's really rude. And I feel bad for the gal, but I can't stand for that type of... Just kidding. Yeah. I don't think I will do a reading tonight. I'm way too tired. I only got a couple hours of sleep, so I have to get sleep. So I'll probably just go eat and just sleep. But state by state, you mentioned people you worked with, so I assumed you were in an office. Oh, yeah. Well, I talk to them. We text really or like message. And then like we see each other every couple weeks on this supervision meeting that we have to do, but I've never met them in person. I've never met any of them in person. And I've been working for this company for almost 4 years. I'm an introvert, so it works out perfectly for me. And it's a more reasonable work to life balance because a lot of people cancel, and when they cancel, I can do other things. I can, I mean, if I want to do work, I can do work. If I want to go on a walk and do work, I can do that. Or if I just want to go on a walk and say fuck work, I can do that. And I'm not saying I neglect my job, don't get me wrong, but sometimes these motherfucking notes, the notes that we have to do, it's just boring. That's all. I mean, it's repetitive because you don't put a whole lot in them anyway, because you don't want to give too much information that could like compromise or make, you know, because sometimes those notes get subpoenaed and stuff like that. So we don't, my boss doesn't want us putting super sensitive information in there. So it's like, it just becomes this redundant thing of like, yeah, they talked about like challenges at home and work. And it's like, yeah, no shit. So yeah, I think that's why. I know, isn't that weird? I think it's pretty wild too. I'm like, that's kind of weird that like I've never met any of them in person, but they're cool people. I mean, they're cool people from a distance. I mean, I don't know them in person, but that's perfect for me. That's good. Great. Because that's enough human interaction for me. I already talk to people all day long, which I do enjoy doing. I like talking to people. And mostly listening. A majority of it is listening, which I also enjoy doing. Very peaceful. Because a lot of the job is just like listening and like kind of like tapping into your own inner world, which requires like quiet and peace. It's just it's a perfect setup for me because I'm an introvert. I like quiet. That's what I do anyway when I'm not working is healing stuff, just anything related to like becoming more self-aware, stuff like that. So it's it's all good basically. It is amazing new work culture. Yeah, I always wondered what my therapist put in for insurance. Yeah, it's like my boss said he doesn't want us to like, like share stuff that could be used against them, like especially with domestic violence related stuff. So, yeah, I don't know. I really think it's more of a formality just to cover their ass because of auditors, I would imagine. But yeah, I mean, they're real lax on it too. That's the other thing, which again, they are because they understand that really the most important aspect of the job is like the therapy and like what are you doing with the clients? How are you engaging with the clients? That's really all they care about. Obviously, they want us to do our shit, but it's not like, you know, if you're doing your job as a therapist, the notes is kind of like just get it done at some point eventually. Yeah, I mean, like the one of the main codes that we use is like it's it's oh gosh, because it's like mixed disturbance or like mixed, it's weird. It's like mixed mood disturb. Some of them are like sometimes I guess it does say that like mood disorders. Sometimes it says like a variety of different things, but with the people who have depression, it's kind of just a generic like um I can't even remember exactly what it is, but it's just something like depression, and I guess I could go look, but I just don't feel like it. Don't feel like looking it up right now, but But yeah, I mean, it's just a generic like anxiety and depression or, sometimes PTSD. Were you diagnosed? Well, I don't know if you want to share that. You don't have to share that, of course. Um, but or diagnosed with anything rather or whatever. Because that's something you can ask your therapist too, is like, what do you put down on the codes? Like, what's my diagnosis? And I would hope they would have told you that. But, oh wait, I missed this part. I used to listen better. I teach painting. I'm not too introverted. Oh, okay, that's cool about teaching painting. Um, do you teach painting to like what age group or all age groups or like where do you do that? And great idea for a t-shirt. Let me know. Probably I know because Frank gave me a test. Oh wow, okay. Yeah, I mean a lot of people the majority of what I see is like PTSD or like this, I don't know, mixed mood disturbance. It's like all these like random, I'm sorry, it seems random to me. Um, terms kind of jumbled in like with mixed disturbance. Like it's I don't know what order that goes in, but I just know that like those are some of the terms in the and I just know it's like depression, anxiety, and then PTSD sometimes I will see or ADHD. Um, I don't think they diagnose CPTSD. They probably should though. Okay. Yeah, ADD is tough. Like whenever my supervisor tries to send me people that have issues with ADD, I'm like, I think you should, like I give her my input on what is a good fit and what is not, because if I don't know how to help the person, I'm not going to like pretend I do. So, like with ADD, I know close to nothing. I mean, I'm not going to lie, I know very little about like anything regarding it. Autism is another one. Like there's just areas that I just I'm not well versed in or really versed at all. Um, so it's like that's happened to me before where I've had clients where it's like I feel like I shouldn't have been working with them, but it's like sometimes it's like you can only, I don't know. I don't want to be like uncooperative necessarily or whatever. And also it's not to say that I couldn't educate myself and figure it out, but it's like, that seems half-assed to me. So like the person would be better off going to somebody that is well versed in it, like how I'm well versed in domestic violence and narcissistic abuse. I've been studying and researching it for like over 17 years. So yeah, like I would, it's like I wouldn't want somebody, it's the right thing. It's only right is basically what I'm trying to say, because that's not really gonna benefit. Mm, mostly adults, occasional high schoolers. Oh, cool. Okay. I like mixed mood disorder. Oh, yeah. It's like, it's all of those words together. It is. It's like mixed disturbance with mood disorder or mood. I don't know. It's like, I don't even pay attention to them anymore because they bother me because they seem, I don't, it just seems like I see them on like everybody's file, So it's like really everybody's just anxious and depressed for the most part, or like with PTSD or CPTSD, um, or issues with eating disorders. I've dealt with that and have a couple clients that struggle with that. Um, OCD. Oh, cool. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I don't know. I guess it's just like I don't understand it as much either. I don't know. I don't think I have ADHD or ADD. I don't really know, but because I haven't like I don't know. Yeah, done much with it. I'm not as confident with that, but a lot of times people think that they have like ADD or ADHD and it's like it's actually just like anxiety and like high stress levels that lead to an inability to focus or concentrate because you're like severely traumatized. But yeah. Hmm. Interesting. Okay. She believes it's all environmental. So she believes more in nurture than nature, essentially. And what do you mean by that? She believes it's all environmental. Hmm. Wait, what test? The test to like to be diagnosed, basically? I want to go through it. That would be interesting. I feel like I definitely have narcissistic traits or like BPD trait. I mean, both of my parents are narcissistic. It is impossible to grow up in an environment like that and not have some traits of it, which is why I have spent my entire life since the age of about 12 healing because I knew if I didn't, I would be fucked. So that brings us to today. And my 20s were rough, but I survived the war, people, and I'm here to tell my story to help others, those poor youngins. Man, they think, you know, I don't know how to feel about that. Are those the best years of your life? Are they? Because I'm starting to think they were the most tumultuous. That and the teenage years. Like, what? And the 30s, chill. Very chill. Just, just a lot of like peace and tranquility and not giving a shit in a healthy way about what people think or whatever, what people choose to do. I mean, I think that's a big part of it is I've just done a lot of healing and so now I can just the healing never stops, but I can relax a little more now. I don't know, 13, 14, 15, yeah, 15, 16, 17, 18 years later, I can relax. Yep, good times, guys. And you know what's hilarious about that is that 18 years you grow up around your parents unless you leave home a little bit early, but so it took me 18 years to be brainwashed and have my head fucked with, and then it took me 18 years, which makes sense. Again, the healing doesn't stop, but it took me 18 years to just like be at a normal place, like balanced. Yeah, that's what I've heard is that your 30s are great because, like, you don't have all that. You know yourself. You don't know yourself in your 20s, which is part of what makes it so challenging. And you also don't know as much about the world. You don't have as much experience, wisdom, knowledge. Like, so, and that's not I'm not saying that to be condescending or something. It's just when you don't have as much life experience and you don't know, life is more stressful because you're like, oh, but once you get past all that, it's, you know. Yeah, you're talking about like the Saturn return? Or, yeah, I think that's what it's called, right? When you're 29. What? Really? That's wild. Why do you think that was? Or do you know deets on that? Okay, that's what I thought, the Saturn return. Wait, Barbara, did you tell me what zodiac sign you are? You may have already. I just can't wait until Friday when I can have a decent meal. Like, I can like actually buy something that I like, that, you know, kind of, because most of it's gonna go to rent, but you know. Wow. Oh, I'm a Cancer. I am a Cancer. You know, you know how we are. You feel people still reacting against or like their parents. Yeah, maybe, but I don't really know if I agree with you, Carl. I don't know if I agree with Carl because with Young, because it's like if you've done a lot of healing, that might not always be the case. Cancer? Oh, Cancer is a cardinal sign. Wait, Leo's a fixed sign, right? I guess. Yeah, Leo, Taurus, Aquarius, Scorpio. Oh. Wait, who was? Sorry, Barbara. I'm like so tired and I cannot. Oh, shit. Oh, yeah, that's right. Oh, he was. Damn. Huh. Yeah, that's not good. Misogynist. But, I mean, that was probably a common thing. Much more common. Probably like who wasn't homophobic and misogynistic back in the day, you know? I don't know, I could be wrong, but. And also, I'm sure there's people who like fawned and like pretended just to survive around people who were like that. I mean, if I don't know, yeah. Yeah, not good, but I guess not too surprising, unfortunately. But, you know, I'm trying to cuss less in my readings. I'm trying to be a little bit less ignorant. Um, but, you know, sometimes it's necessary because it's like the same. Some of these messages come up and it's like, are these people serious? Like, or is this person serious? It's like, it just, and when you're channeling the energy, it makes you want to cuss because it's like, you're feeling the nastiness of the energy. I get sad when clients like like they stop seeing me, like they can't see me because they can't afford it, or yeah, I mean, cussing it can be therapeutic, but I just feel like sometimes it can come off harsh, or I mean, fuck it, who cares if it rubs people the wrong way, right? But I mean, I like to be considerate of people, but in that way, not so much, because I can talk, I guess, however I want on my shit, but at the same time, I have to calm it down so I can, because to get monetized, you can't be like, I don't know, doing that too much. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, that's why I'm not seeing a therapist. Like, I can't afford that right now. I mean, I'm in the process of balancing out my finances and like getting shit in order, but like I can't afford that. Like, I literally can't even pay my medical bills. Like, everything is so expensive. And doesn't I mean, it pays a decent amount, but it's just everything is so expensive nowadays, so yeah, I mean, I want to, don't get me wrong, I really want to, but then I'm just like, I don't know, YouTube, I guess, I think they have certain like limits on that, I guess. Oh my gosh, it's just like so. I know I have state since President wants Steve on. Dang. Yup. Yeah, I know. I don't know. I don't know what more to do or say about it. That's why I just kind of. I guess I don't really have a serious opinion. Other than, obviously, it's fucked that he's doing that aspect of things. Yeah, I mean, there's no words for it. I just think that a lot of people are sick in this country, and it's, because of what this country was built on, and the fact that it will not, people will not resurrect or, reconcile that, rather, like the egos, they continue to flare. And yeah, I think I was just, earlier I was saying I get sad when certain clients stop comment, like, especially like if I have like older clients, like I had an elderly, like a client who was she was in her 80s. Okay, I'll just put it that way. And like, I only share that to say that, it makes me sad, because like, what if I never talk to her again? What if I never interact with her ever again? It's an honor to be, you know, um, to meet my clients and all, just like the fact that people trust me, trust therapists with such vulnerable things, it's like, I'm humbled and honored. Yeah. Yeah, I think so too. It feels that way, definitely. And it is, because we're in the age of Aquarius. So, I mean, it is a paradigm shift. So I guess this stuff was a little bit better than that other stuff, you guys. Okay. That was like a little bit. I keep saying you guys, you're not a you guys, Barbara. Sorry. This stuff was actually good, Barbara. Do you go by Barbara or Barb, or do you, like what? Yes, I lose some students. Yes, it's an honor to teach too. Yeah. Yep. It really is. Art is a kind of therapy. Yeah, it definitely is. It absolutely is. Yeah, it absolutely is. I have a client who will come on and he'll just like draw sometimes, like on the screen. Like he'll like pull up his screen and, draw, and then it's like, and then I'll be like, one time I like interpreted the drawing like, because like obviously it has everything to do with him and his psyche and his subconscious, and so you know it's it's cool to, and that's what I told my client today too, that healing a big part of healing is getting that sense of creative expression back through things like art, which can be anything, music, media, any type of creativity, can be very healing, essentially. Hey, you. That's funny. Oh, yeah, that would be cool. Sand tray therapy. I had a therapist once that had one of those things, and it was like so relaxing. It was really relaxing. Oh my gosh, it really is a good idea. You remember, do you know those like display, I don't know what that you even call them, but like, yeah, like the sand trays, but like the one that my therapist had like a rake, and it was set up almost like it was a beach. Yeah. Yeah, I guess that might be kind of hard to do I unless they bought it themselves, or unless I held it in front of the screen. That would make absolutely no sense. uh, yeah. Yeah, it was like a rake and looked like a beach setup or something. It was kind of like, it was nice. It was very nice. But I should get off of here. I don't want to stay on here too late. I gotta eat. So it was great talking to you, and thanks for chit-chatting. And yeah, I've got this stuff here. Oh yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of different, I guess, different approaches. But okay, I'm gonna get off here. I'm real tired, so I will see you later. And it was great talking to you. And have a great rest of your night. Thanks, you too. Talk to you soon.